Folks, first off, Happy New Year. It is January 2nd. We are officially in 2024. But what we may not realize is we are on the cusp of the spring selling season. For much of the country, that doesn't start until roughly the week after the Super Bowl. In some markets, like King County, like Seattle, like Washington, it starts in January. So I got to ask, is this the quiet before the storm? Let's go to Beth Traverso. Beth, what's going on?
Yeah, Michael. Happy New Year, everybody. And happy to be here in 2024. And on the real estate market side of things, it's awfully quiet out there. And that's what I see typically this week. But I've been asking myself and Mike, you about is this the calm before the storm? I feel like it is. Well, first of all, our normal seasonality would show that in the King County greater Seattle market, what we normally see is our spring selling season kicks off as soon as listings start hitting the market in January. Okay. And my friends at Zillow explained it in a way that really clicked for me a while back, where they said, one of their busiest days on the site is Christmas Day. And because buyers are ready to strike before the sellers are ready to put their house on the market. So they're out there ready now because like, okay, check, Christmas is done. We're moving on. Whatever holiday thing they're doing, they did. And now they're ready to make plans for 2024. And we want to buy a house this year. Rates are down. That's the big difference this year. And so last year, our inventory went way down in December. And now this year it's even lower. So I checked the numbers as far as this year versus the same time last year, and we're down 23% in listing inventory, which we didn't have barely any before. So
I want to make sure I heard that right. So you're saying January 2nd, 2024 is down 20+% from January 2nd, 2023.
Correct. I checked it this morning just to be sure I wasn't missing anything. And I do know that holiday weekend between Christmas and New Year's does tend to be slow, but in my East Side area, there was only 3 listings of any price in that entire week. And that's crazy low for all the hundreds of agents and buyers out there,
you
in
had
that little
three
net
new listings.
Yeah. So think about that, and so for sellers, they're not ready to put their house on the market yet because they're just now packing away all their holiday decorations and starting to get their house prepared. It takes a few weeks at least for most sellers to get their house ready. Buyers are chomping at the bit. Rates are down to, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe around 6.6 or somewhere in there.
Yeah,
right? Am I right?
Today.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah. So right around there, where just a couple of months ago, we were pushing 8, which was a stop for most people. That was a pretty hard stop. Yep. But now we're down to 6.6, which granted is not, it's not enough to bring the move up buyer out.
Correct.
But for everyone else, people that are new to the area, people that are buying regardless.
6 feels better than 8, Beth. 6
it feels better. And I have to say, when I'm crunching my numbers and I'm looking at 8, I'm like, oh gosh, 8, ouch, that hurts. And then 6.6, oh, it's better. So it's better. And so if people are out there eager to buy something and there's nothing to buy, now I'm just talking about my market. I'm sure other areas are different. You got to know your own area and your own buy box. But here in the greater Seattle area, we're waiting and there's nothing on the market right now. And granted, we might start to see this week in my area, you got to learn your rhythm of the listings, but for us it's Wednesday and Thursday, mostly Thursdays, when the new listings come on. So I'll be watching that this week to see, we might get a little surge because of people that were waiting for after the holidays.
Yeah, well,
just so that surge never came. So
just so I know, I got to ask, what would a normal week of net new? Because 3 seems you've got like 2 million people in King County, right?
And I'm not talking about all of King County. I'm talking about my, east part of the East Side.
How big is East Side? Are we talking a couple 100,000 people?
Oh, well, that section is probably a couple 100,000 in that particular segment.
Okay.
I'm talking about like Redmond, Sammamish, and people that know my area, but and I won't get into the details of all the areas, but but there's 3. And then normal might in that same little subsection might be 25 to 30 or
Yeah,
so. And that's
makes
been
sense.
over the past year where we've had a very low inventory year. The last year we had any notable inventory was 2019. We did have a bit of a bump in 2019. And then it just went down, then you know what happened in 2020 and onward.
Well, this is I actually talked about it on my daily financial news. There's a reasonable argument today about what happens if rates got to 5%. On one theory, people think that at 5%, we unlock the move up buyer, right? They're no longer kind of priced into where they are. They're like, I'm uncomfortable enough. I want something nicer. Sub 5% unlocks that. So supply could come. But as you know, as an agent, when you're a move up buyer, you're both a seller and a buyer. So
Yeah,
isn't that like a wash?
it's a
You
wash.
may get technically more listings, but then they go away just as fast. So active inventory never builds. But the other thing is, as we're seeing right now, I think 6%, like 6 to 6.6 is like the worst rate possible.
Yeah.
Because what happened, according to a CNBC article I read over the weekend, is at 6.6 verse 8, we have unlocked 4.5 million buyers. Not saying they will buy, but they now can buy, right? Demand is want to buy and can buy.
Right.
We've unlocked 4.5 million people. So some percentage of that will say, I want to buy. If we go to 6 or 5.5, you're unlocking 12, 13, 14 million buyers. And if you're getting 3 listings, I mean, this just gets scary.
I know. So it's shaping up to be a spring where we're going to start seeing price increases, probably with bidding wars is typically how that
Supply and demand would argue that's probably
yeah. And the only thing that would think it might curb that would be if there was some sort of, if the psychology of the buyer gets scared for some reason.
Let's talk about that.
Want. So if the economy is looking shaky, political events or fill in the blank happens that makes people feel nervous, then those people, even if they can buy, they may be able to buy, but
I'll give you for an example. I'll give you for an example for your area. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's just pretend for a moment this is complete crap I'm making up. This is not something I've read, but let's just pretend that both Amazon and Microsoft announced a 12% employee layoff out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That would probably shock your local housing market.
100% it would. So something like that could keep, and I think it would need something that would shock the market to cramp off that demand to make it so that prices might go down or supply might go up. There has to be,
it would cause demand. It would cause demand to stop, which would then build inventory. That's what would happen. And I got to be clear. It's got to be a surprise, and it has to be meaningful. If Amazon and Microsoft announced they're shutting down some little freaking micro unit and 50 people were let go, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's got to be a big number.
And if people, so that's what we saw in the summer of 22 when, I can't remember what was going on with layoffs at that time, to be honest, but I do know that that's when the market, part of what pulled back and we started getting more inventory was, buyers didn't know what to do because they saw prices or they saw rates skyrocketing and they're like,
Correct.
Whoa, this might not be the best time for me to do anything because things are really uncertain right now. But they're very quick to switch if they see what I have seen time and time again. Now, we as agents, any agents out there listening will know where I'm coming from, where it's like we see things starting to happen and we let people know like, hey, this is what I see coming. People don't tend to believe you until they see it actually happen to themselves in real life, which is just human nature, right? We want to say, hey guys, this is what we see coming because we see this all the time. This is going on. Here's what you can do to get ahead of it. But then what happens is, people might be making offers that, might make sense if it's more of a buyer's market, but then then they get clobbered by 5 other offers and they lose to somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes. And they're like, whoa, we're doing that again. But people can switch back very, very quickly to like, whoa, okay, now we have to compete. And they switch to the compete mode where it's gloves off, you know, and that's when you see the bidding wars and the prices escalate. And we do see over, you know, between now and about June numbers is when we tend to see typically prices will increase a bit from where they are right now.
Yeah. What I've seen over the years, 30 years, and I've certainly seen the last 3 years, is demand can change in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the consumer psychology. Do they feel they're getting a deal? Are they feeling like they're being outbid? Supply takes more,
Yeah.
right? Supply is an economic thing, right? Today, the move-up buyer is dead. The housing market's broken because it costs you 2 or 3x to get that extra bedroom. It just doesn't mathematically make sense. Hence, we're doing 4 million, not 6 million existing home sales. If rates got low enough, maybe that unlocks. I don't know what gets us that low, but it is possible. So I don't know, Beth. I guess we're going to talk every Tuesday and we're going to find out, are you seeing listings grow, new listings grow, inventory grow, or did demand just come back and dwarf supply? It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'm always fascinated just to watch these things play out. And so what I'm going to be seeing is, I know we'll get a little bit of a bump of listing inventory this week. And I'm going to be watching like a hawk to see how many of those go pending and how fast they go pending. Are they getting multiple offers? Or are they just sitting there? And then we might start to see some. I think with these interest rates coming down the way they have, I would be more shocked if they sat there than if they sold quickly. So I'll be watching really closely and ready to report back to you what we're seeing here in Seattle.
I look forward to that conversation next Tuesday and the Tuesday after that. Beth, you are amazing. You are helping One Rental at a Time fans across the country be tapped into your network. How would they do that?
People can find me at bethtraversogroup.com or just reach out to me, message me on Facebook or Instagram or through my website out there, and happy to chat with people. I love connecting with the One Rental at a Time community. So thank you for having me on here.
You got it. Thank you. Come back each week.